lost and found.
Hey, I'm Greg Gordon, and thanks for tuning in to Pyramind. We're here to do a breakdown with Liam Levinson and his tune, Lost and Found. So this is Liam over here, a.k.a. Lamb Dub, right on. And so you kind of got inspired here, it seems to me, like you originally wrote this track on your acoustic guitar, is that right?
Yep, that's true.
And we got some cool footage of you playing the track, kind of going through that inspirational process. Can you tell us what, first of all, inspired you to write this particular song?
Well, with the LP I'm about to release, I wanted to go with a lot of different routes. It's called Biography, and I wanted the lyrics to be very honest and tell my own story while going to very different directions and experimentation with the sound.
Right.
And when I approach going different places with the sound, I try to act as if I am collaborating with a certain artist. Not to try to mimic that artist, but to try to act as if I'm collaborating with them.
So who was the artist in this case?
In this case, it was Jimmy Eat World. So that's what kind of gave it that, alternative rock type of feel that I don't usually do.
Okay.
And that also kind of explains why it does kind of go back to that reggae sound and kind of the
But
dub.
that's definitely an inspiration of yours, that reggae dub sound, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. That is my main sound.
Right. So now what I found really interesting about the way you approached this track was that even though you wrote it originally on acoustic guitar, it seems like the piano became the foundation of the chord progression. Why did you choose to go that route?
Because I envisioned the hook really having that Jimmy Eat World type of feel, and I knew it was going to be very guitar heavy. So in the other parts of the song, I wanted it to kind of go in maybe a different direction, so there's more of a contrast.
Right. So play the opening section of the song here for us for a second.
I've seen smiles and I've seen tears. I've seen fake friends and I've
So, just for everybody watching here, so you understand, we're looking at the original Logic session that this tune was written in, right?
Yeah, correct.
And produced in, but this is not the final mix session, right? So, tell us about your production process and how you approach this. First of all, you recorded this where?
I recorded this in the vault, which is right downstairs from where we are filming right now.
Right here at Pyramind, right?
Yeah.
So you're in the vault, you're recording this in Logic, and you were able to use everything in that facility to put the whole song together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and so tell us about that process a little bit.
Well, the first thing I laid down was the piano. I wrote the chords on guitar, obviously, but then it all started with this weird D chord that I actually found on guitar. It's kind of an odd D chord. You wouldn't really be able to play it on a piano physically. It just kind of has this weird sound. Like, it's not really a D minor, it's not really a D major, but that kind of what struck the whole song for me.
Okay.
So
what do you mean you wouldn't be able to play it on a piano?
It just has these odd notes that it would just be uncomfortable and weird to play on a piano.
Okay, the voicing itself would be uncomfortable.
I don't really know how to explain it.
Okay,
But, and I don't really know how to refer to the chord itself.
Okay.
But I just drew all the notes in of that odd guitar chord that I was playing. And then I laid out this piano. And after that, I came up with that lead that kind of leads into the verse. And,
the lead, which is the synth line, it's kind of like I'm not sure what to call that. What sound would you say that is?
I don't even know how to really explain it. I mean, they're kind of like euphoric almost type of sounds.
Can you solo that for us for a second?
Absolutely.
Let's just hear that.
So that's one of the layers.
Okay. And what synth is that? Playing that?
This is a Logic preset called Scatter Pattern.
Okay.
And the second one...
And that's layered, right?
Right, and it's layered with another Logic preset called Buzzy String Space.
Okay.
Which sounds like this.
Okay, cool. And then quickly we get into a bigger, heavier, more arranged feel here. And it looks like all the drums were originally MIDI programmed. Is that right?
Yeah.
And how'd you do that? What'd you do to get those in there?
I just searched for the right kit for me that I thought sounded the best.
And this is a Logic preset kit, pretty much, that you
Yeah,
work
it
with
is.
here.
It is called the Hi-Fi Pop Kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just played it on MIDI. I mean, on the keyboard, everything. Just,
So you dropped it in there, created an arrangement out of this, all pretty much in the MIDI space, but you recorded your vocals into Logic as well, right?
Yep, that is correct.
And so you were able to overdub. What kind of mic did you use for your vocals?
I used the SM7B for everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
SM7B, not too expensive, not too crazy,
No.
but it sounds great.
Michael Jackson used it.
So when you went from the MIDI recording of this to the mix stage, what was the process you used to get it to the way it's sounding in the final master?
Well, I bounced them all to stems, and then I gave them to my good friend Sean Carney, that is also the night manager here.
He works here at Pyramind.
Yes, he does.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And he mixed it and mastered it, and we kept shooting it back and forth to each other until it just sounded perfect.
Nice. And so you bounced all of your MIDI tracks out as audio.
Yes.
So end-to-end stems. So you had like a multi-track configuration that he was then able to drop into Pro Tools.
Exactly.
And then he mixed it in Pro Tools, right?
Yep.
Cool. And how do you feel that process worked for you with him?
I think it worked out great.
Uh-huh.
I really did. He's mastered a few other tracks for me in the past, and I think we're getting a good workflow going.
Okay, cool. So let's just talk a little bit about the arrangement of the track, because there's a couple of cool parts. Why don't you just play the hook for us for a second here?
Absolutely.
I hope they say I'm always honest and true. Nostalgia can pick me up and it can bring me down. Oh yeah, I'm sorry if I've done you wrong. Nostalgic feelings start creeping up without making a sound. All your memories in a box of lost and found. Lost and found.
So obviously this isn't the mix,
Right.
because I can hear there's a lot of guitar work going on in the background. There's some heavy guitars.
Yeah.
So tell us about the guitars that are going on in here. What have you got?
We have multiple layers here of guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was the brighter one that I kind of went for.
Mm-hmm.
And then layered on top of it is just a very dark guitar.
And what are you using to get those distortion sounds?
Lots of Logic pedal board stuff,
Uh-huh.
and all kinds of amp presets.
So you got some amp modeling going on here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So pretty much you took a electric guitar straight in, clean, and then
Directly in.
did all of the modeling and
Yep.
processing right in Logic.
Yeah.
And was that enhanced again additionally in the mix process?
Yeah, definitely.
Did he do more distortion, or did he kind of take what you did and just EQ'd it? And
Yeah, you just EQ'd it.
because it sounds a lot bigger in the final
Oh yeah,
mix.
definitely.
Uh-huh. Cool. And now the other part of the track that really got me was the outro, that I thought was
Right.
really cool. So what's the inspiration behind that?
I mean, that just kind of brings us back to, I envisioned it as if I was making a song with Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah.
So if I was making a song with Jimmy Eat World, I would force them to let me do my reggae part. So that's what the outro pretty much is.
Uh-huh.
And it was almost me feeling like I was going in too deep to this other genre.
Uh-huh.
I kind of needed to stop and go and be myself again for a second.
So this is kind of like the Lamb Dub collaboration with Jimmy Eat World, and
Pretty
this
much.
is where it really comes out,
Yeah.
because you're not going out on the hook here, right?
Right.
You've got a whole other flavor that comes in at the end.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Beyond the Jimmy Eat World collaboration component, why did you choose to have this kind of rap vibe going on at the end, this kind of dub rap vibe?
I think It was unexpected, and it's something I'm a big fan of in music, is when you think the song is just this one thing, and just out of nowhere, it just completely changes. I love when artists do that.
I love that too, and for me it was really refreshing. Can you just play us a little bit of that outro here?
Absolutely.
In a Range Rover, be one of my people in about keeping culture, showing love to my people and appreciate the culture.
When I think about the past, I cannot lose composure. Rather be on the street more than in a Range Rover. Be one of my people in about keeping culture, showing love to the people that appreciate.
So that's the fade out. Cool. So it sounds like you doubled your vocal. You took your vocal and you pitched it way down.
Exactly.
Right? So it's got that cool, deep vibe.
Right.
And then that's you on top of it in the
Yep.
back and the high voice as
Yep.
well. Right? I love that. I thought it added a really creative and cool way to take the song in a different direction, but still felt connected to the song
Right.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Really cool. I love this track. I think you're going to do well with this, and I look forward to hearing the whole EP. So tell us again, when's that coming out?
By April 1st, it will be in your hands for free.
Nice. I'm Greg Gordon, and this is Liam Levinson, Lamb Dub, coming at you from Pyramind. Thanks for watching us here today, and for more videos like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pyramind on YouTube.